Guys, I cannot really give enough props to the designers and the creative teams behind each one of these garments because they went above and beyond. I like how there is kind of like a theme, you know, similar to Jedidah. She went with a little bit more of the kimono vibes. Hello everyone and welcome once again to my channel. My name is Portelles, and for today's video we are going to continue talking about the national costume presentation that was recently released by the Miss Universe Philippines organization. Now, if you are here, you should know that this is part 2 of this video. I actually had a part 1 for it where I featured my favorite costumes, meaning that those were the ones that I fell in love with instantly. However, I mentioned during that video that I really wanted to make a part 2 where I will feature the other candidates that were not featured in part 1, because honestly, the amount of work and effort that went into every single one of these costumes is just mind-blowing. So for those reasons, I wanted to really take the time to take a look at these ladies, talk with you about it, and give you some of my feedback and my opinion. For this ones in particular, I'm not going to be doing it under the format of a top pick, but rather I'll just go through the candidates and I'll tell you my ideas and my opinions on the spot as I go. That way, it's more of a fluent conversation and there is not necessarily a bias. At this point, we are just appreciating, guys. In order to make this a more interactive experience, please go down in the comment section and let me know if you agree with my comments, my opinions, all of it. But also, if you think differently, also go ahead and let me know. That's how we learn. That's how we, interact with our ideas. While you're at it, don't forget to leave a like on the videos that it gets recommended to more people. And last but not least, subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one almost every single day. All right, my friends. So without further ado, let's get into today's video. I really, really hope that you enjoy it. Be strong. All right, everyone, here we go. So let's start by talking about Michelle Angela Navarro. And this one in particular, I really like because if you take a look at Michelle, she truly embodies the spirit of a carnival. I know that in the Philippines, you have like 1,000 types of different carnivals, but for us in Cuba, carnival is all about color, it's all about fun, and it's all about big, big production. I feel that's exactly what Michelle is giving us here. I really love how much effort was put into the headpiece. You can take that this took forever to produce, and everything, even the way that they incorporated it within the shoulders, the chest area, and the hips. It almost feels like the headpiece transitions into the dress, and that's like absolutely beautiful. I feel like the color selection as well, blue and white, always go very well together. Makes me think of the sea, makes me think of the sky. It's just a very natural and pacifying mix to go with. The only thing with Michelle is that I feel like there's almost two sections with this costume. You have from the hips up and then from the hips down. I feel like the second part of the dress from the hips down, it's a little bit more on the simple side and it feels more like a gown, which it disconnects me a little bit from the fantasy of the costume and everything that's going up on the upper side. But at the end of the day, Michelle was able to present this beautifully. I can only imagine the amount of work that went into this costume. And of course, the way that she behaved, the way that she interacted with the camera during the video, it was just mwah, chef's kiss. So I love Michelle for this one. Next one on the list, we have Shelly Falconer. And obviously, as usual, this girl is looking stunning. The thing that I like the most about Shelly is that she's always smiling on every single photo. And she has like such a beautiful, honest smile. It just comes like from within. But talking a little bit more about the national costume itself, the first thing that I loved about it was the structure of it. I feel like it was very, very original, especially if I think about this piece that she has around her neck and also around her hips. That's something that I didn't see before, and that I feel like it contrasts very, very well with the fan that she's holding at the same time. For me, already those elements were sufficient to make me feel, wow, she really did something amazing. But then she also incorporated this headpiece, but I feel like it's not necessarily on her head, but maybe like around, like behind her neck. But it gives me like a crown vibe. So I really, really love it. For the lower part of the dress, I love how she went big with it, but also she decided to go ahead and include more details, the golden accents. I feel like it contrasts beautiful with brown. On a personal note, the only reason why she didn't make my favorite topics is because I'm not a fan of brown when it comes to dresses, when it comes to this type of costumes. However, I know that this is a creative decision. This is probably something that she decided with her designer, and that's perfectly fine. I respect that. Overall, it's a beautiful piece, a beautiful national costume, and Chela looks premium while delivering this for us. Next one, we have Crisaline Valencia, and oh my God, girl, there's so much going on in this dress. I feel like she played a little bit more with color, just like the example that I gave you previously for Cristel Abelio. She really went there with the color. There's everything here: blue, pink, fuchsia, green, orange, you name it. I mean, there's everything. It looks like a rainbow, like a unicorn, especially with the headpiece, but in a very, very good way, guys. When you look at it, this feels a little bit more on the dress type of things, especially if you don't consider the piece that is around her head and the headpiece. This could perfectly be a beautiful dress. Now, I like how she incorporated this part around her head, and even with the headpiece that I feel like it's an eagle or something around those lines. I don't see it very clearly on the photo, guys, but if you know the reference, please let me know in the comment section down below. This is definitely the element that I feel like set her apart from other candidates, because no one else did anything like this when it comes to the headpiece. Everyone went big, everyone went voluminous, extravagant, and hers is a little bit more on the smaller side, on the more discreet. And I'm sure that there are still a lot of references to where she comes from and what she's representing as well. So congrats for a job well done. And next one, we have Jedida Karinikona. This is my friend that I love so much. This girl, I think she was one of the first that I interviewed for this year's edition of Miss Universe Philippines. But Jedida looks stunning. First of all, I love the structure on the sleeves of this dress. It just feels like so amazing. It's giving me like kimono vibes. Even the way that it's wrapped around her chest area is just so beautiful. And it feels very grand, very royalty vibes. I love how she did contrast the color brown with a little bit more of the orangey vibes at on the lower side of the dress, and on top of that they have like this beautiful crown that it just looks like so amazing. The last thing that really sealed it for me was Jedida herself. I mean, this girl is beautiful. First of all, her morena skin is just like glowing, and you can see that honest smile. She looks like she's having fun, having a great moment, and just representing with pride the place that she comes from. Once again, one of the reasons that it was not on my favorite picks is just for a personal preference. I'm not a big fan of brown on dresses or fashion garments. However, when you look at the execution of this one in particular, when you look at the effort, the detail, everything that went into it is just like outstanding. So definitely props to Jedida and to her entire team. I love you, girl. Mwah. Okay, everyone, now we have to talk about Vicky Vaccalares. And this girl, oh my God, Vicky is one of the dark horses of the competition for sure, because these girls deliver every single time. And this national costume is no exception. When you look at it, the first thing that comes to mind is the contrast between very, very strong colors, such as yellow, red, and black. This already makes me think of fire, of passion, of something very, very intense. And the way that even she embodied that with her facial expression, you can tell that Vicky is feeling her costume. The attention to detail is remarkable once again, and I feel like something that you're gonna hear for every single one of these photos. You can really tell, guys, I cannot really give enough props to the designers and the creative teams behind each one of these garments, because they went above and beyond. I like how there is kind of like a theme, you know, similar to Jedida. She went with a little bit more of the kimono vibes on the top side of the dress. But then when it comes to the sleeves and the lower part of the dress, it was more of a fan type of sleeve, a fan type of dress, and obviously complemented with the fan that she is holding. The motifs on the fan, on the sleeves, on the dress, everything matches, and it just makes it feel so cohesive, so beautiful, so well thought out. And like there were really no coincidence in this case. This dress was planned from A to Z. Next one, we have one of my sentimental favorites, Megan DeGal from Bukidnon, looking beautiful, a golden goddess. For national costume, golden is one of my favorite colors. And I feel like she really was able to embody something that feels so beautiful, so luxurious. The construction of this dress, the headpiece, oh my God, I can only imagine like how many hours went into creating this piece. The dress itself is not the most complex one if you compare it to other national costumes that we've seen so far. However, you can still see a lot of motifs, a lot of patterns. I like how they blended the golden colors with the red. You can see around her waist this line with a pattern that I also saw during her tourism video. So I'm guessing that this is something at least local, a reference to Bukidnon. For the crown itself, I love how she went big with it, and she had like these golden stars blended with white, what is it, roses, what is it, pearls, I don't know, but it just looks beautiful. I feel like it's flowers made out of pearls or something. Girl, she went the extra mile. I'm just eating this up. from beginning to end. I love it. For Megan, I was not crazy about the back piece, this thing that she is holding in her hands. And although I know that this is very typical of Carnival, this is very, and although I know that this is very typical of Carnival, of this type of celebrations, I feel like it was not elevated to the same extent as the dress. However, everything else was done so well that I couldn't help but to love this from beginning to end. My girl Megan, you did such an amazing job, and I'm so proud of you. I love you. Mwah. Next one on the list, we have the ever so mysterious Kesha from Iloilo. Okay, the first thing that I think when I saw this was like drama mama. There is definitely a central piece on this costume, and for me, it is the headpiece. Makes me think of a beautiful bird. It makes me think of fire. I don't know if there's a reference in there to Iloilo, but it feels a lot more dramatic than most costumes during this competition. If you notice the black feathers already, that's like a very dark theme, very mysterious. And I feel like she also has feathers on the back of the headpiece because I know that she recently cut her hair. So I like how she incorporated different elements to make it bigger, to give it more volume. And it just creates this vibe that, I don't know, makes me want to do some research and find out more about this. I also like how the feathers transition into the dress itself, even into the cape. And you can have this theme almost as if like it was roots going through her body. For the dress part of things, I feel like it's fairly simple. However, I'm pretty sure that there is a message to this. I would actually have to go and do some research about it. I see the word free, I see the word democracy. So I'm pretty sure that there is a deep meaning to this dress and to the history of Iloilo. I really love this from beginning to end. Everything from the execution to the message that was incorporated within the dress, it's already exciting. The only feedback that I would actually have for Kesha is that I have yet to see a softer side of herself. Everything that we see is very fierce, is very rough, is very intense. And although we love that, I would also love to see something a little bit softer when it comes to how she presents herself. Not that she has to change who she is, but just show us that you can do it. And then I'll be at peace. Next one on the list, we have Noelle Mabuhay. I love her last name. Oh my God. I don't even know where to start when it comes to this dress. There's so much going on and I love every single part of it. Let's go from the bottom up. The lower part of the dress, I love how she has like this big section to it and it's just like covered with flowers and beautiful motifs. Honestly, it just makes it feel like a garden. I don't even know how the fashion designers comes with these ideas because it's just so out of what I'm used to see. It's just stunning. Here in Canada or even Cuba, we don't have anything like this. So when I see these creations, I just go crazy over it. I like how they did contrast a few patterns. For example, if you take a look at the middle part of the dress, we have more of a pattern with squares and different colors and just kind of experimenting and contrasting with the lower part of the dress. However, it's still very similar colors, so it doesn't feel out of place or like it doesn't belong there. Definitely very, very good. Now, my favorite part of the entire thing, I have to admit, it's from the shoulders up. I love everything that they did with the orange section of the dress here on the shoulders. I like how there is a little bit of fringe on her arms because that just adds like movement and fun and it makes it light and playful. And this crown with what she's holding on her hands, she just feels like a queen, like royalty. My God, Noeline, I honestly have no negative feedback whatsoever for you. This was amazing. This was fun from beginning to end. Next one on the list, we have Princess Singh embodying the sea. Obviously, so dramatic. But also so beautifully done. When you look at the lower part of the dress, I honestly get like wave vibes. I just feel like I'm on the beach, like the waves are coming and playing with my feet, and I'm just loving it from beginning to end. Even towards the middle of the dress, it gives me like, like those drone vibes of the sea, like when you look at it from top and you can see like the white lines of the water. And although it's a different pattern from what we see at the bottom of the dress, we still get this feeling that it's all cohesive, that it all belongs. Same thing is going on here with her arms and her shoulders, and this back piece that she has around her neck, it just feels like something that will come out of the water, like a coral or something very beautiful. And of course, knowing the professionalism of Filipino designers, even for her crown, they incorporated some pearls, some elements right there that you can take from the sea. And I feel like she's one of the girls who had like the most realized theme when it comes to her national costume, because from beginning to end, you get the point, you get the idea. Even for the fan that she is holding, I think that the fact that they went with feathers, it's a good idea because it symbolizes the sea breeze. When you go to the ocean, there's not only the water, but there's also like this you know, salty breeze. It just like makes everything better. I don't know. So definitely props to her because this is amazing from beginning to end. Now we are gonna be talking about Maria Corazon Abalos or Corinne Abalos. And this girl, obviously, I feel like she's one of the girls that took a little risk and made her national costume a little bit sexy by showing that beautiful and toned leg. And I love it because it's not just showing skin, but she also has like within her shoe a section that is golden, that feels like royalty. My God, I really like how the shoe contrasts with everything else that is going on within the dress. This piece that she has around her neck, the crown itself, even the color of the dress with a lot of yellows. You can also see that they matched other colors such as red, such as a little bit of pink, a little bit of purple. All of those colors make me think instantly of royalty. And of course, always going with the traditional Filipiniana always makes it feel a little bit more Filipino, a little bit more traditional, a little more like it's appreciating the national culture. So definitely a beautiful homage. You guys tell me if I'm crazy, but when I look at Corinne, I sometimes see Beyonce from certain angles. Like she just has like such a beautiful symmetrical face that this girl, oh my God, she's a model. This national costume was a complete win for me. There is really no negative feedback whatsoever that I will tell her or anything that she should change. She knows what she's doing and she's doing it right. So don't fix it if it ain't broken. Now we have another one of my sentimental favorites, and we are talking about Simonnadine Bornelia, my baby girl, 18 years old. I feel like Simone has really shown that although she is a very young candidate, she really has a lot of substance and she is very mature with everything that she has done so far within this competition. And this dress embodies that. However, a very elaborate dress and a very premium dress. And maybe there is a little nut in there because she decided to go with like this baby pink color, you know, maybe because she's a baby in my heart. Everything else from the waist up, it just feels like so traditional, so respectful of the culture and the people and the country itself. Of course, she's another one that included a little bit of a Filipiniana and that went with these elements that are hanging from it. I don't feel like it's fringe, but maybe just like little stones and pearls. And it just adds like movement and it's fun. It's light to see. I'm pretty sure that when she moves, this is like amazing. The second favorite part for me is really the fan that she is holding because I feel like there was just as much effort that went into creating this fan than the rest of the dress. And it's all about that, guys. The details, the attention to the small things, that's what makes like a huge difference. And in my opinion, this is the element that made her shine the most. When it comes to her head, everything else is very, very simple. The makeup is fairly simple as well, but she looks amazing. I love how the headpiece that she is wearing is so small, but at the same time is contrasting with the earrings. Once again, this is another one of the outfits that you cannot tell anything is wrong with it. Honestly, beautiful from head to toe. And Simone herself is glowing. This girl is like, I don't know. I want to see her all the time. Like, please. Now we're gonna talk about John Luis Abejero, and oh my god, my girl said yellow. For those of you who know me personally, you know that yellow is one of my favorite colors. I love everything yellow, and I have this yellow t-shirt that I think I've worn for maybe like 100 videos on my channel. People tell me like, Louis, go and change it. So there is no way that I could absolutely be upset at this dress or this concept. First of all, let's go from the head down. This headpiece that she is wearing, it was such a smart move to go with something golden because gold is really gonna contrast very, very well with yellow colors. It also allowed her to keep things small, but still very efficient because her makeup looks light, but she still looks very beautiful. The styling of the hair is very discreet as well. So the attention really stays on the dress and the garment that she is wearing. She's one of the girls that, in my opinion, went like big when it comes to the Filipinanas. Some of them are a little bit more subtle. Some of them are kind of incorporated within the design. But for Jan, it was really like the main part of her dress. That's very good. I love it because it just screams Filipina, it screams tradition. And when you think about the theme of the entire presentation, which is Carnival, I feel like it's very on brand. It's very adequate. To make things a little bit more cohesive, you see these pearls. I think like it's yellow pearls going all the way from her shoulders, the Filipinanas, down through her chest and all the way to her waist. The feathered fan is also a very nice addition to this national costume. And I feel like overall she was going for tradition and also this concept that she had for the yellow. Do you actually think that there is a meaning for the color selection? If there is, let me know in the comment section. And the very last one on my list is Mirhan Ipolito. Oh my God, you guys, I really loved this costume. I was this close to putting her on my first video about my favorite pigs because just everything about this screams like royalty. I feel like there are definitely different themes when it comes to this outfits. Going from the bottom up, red, like passion, it just screams like so much intensity. And I love how they incorporated like certain patterns, certain layers to the dress. However, it didn't overpower it. You still get like most of the bottom of the dress is just red, but then you get like these motifs that just feel like a little bit more elevated, that they actually put extra effort on this part of it. Towards the middle, we have like a very subtle, very delicate pink. Once again, going with the motifs, I feel like they incorporated like branches, or it feels like flowers. The tissue itself feels very flowy, like if she was outside and there was wind, this will be moving, this will be fun to watch. And definitely the last touch for me was from the neck up, and also the fan that she is holding. I feel like just a little bit like Kisses, she had a theme with a bird. Would have to do some research to see which bird in particular and why she decided to incorporate it into her national costume, but it just feels like she is ready to just fly away. The way that they constructed the shoulder piece and even her crown just feels like it was meant to be. This was planned. Same thing for the fan that she is holding. And the fan is actually one of my favorite parts of the entire thing because yes, it is a fan, but also with the feathers, it kind of plays with the theme of the bird. And I also feel like if she puts the fan in front of her face, it would also feel like a mask, which once again, when you think of the theme of this entire thing, which is carnival, it will just feel like so on brand. And like this girl did her research, she did her homework, and here she goes giving us excellent quality. One thing that I was not crazy about this photo was the facial expression, because actually when I saw her video, she was having so much fun, she was enjoying herself. I also saw other photos that people were posting on social media, and definitely I feel like this photo that they selected did not embody that emotion that Mirjan was giving us all throughout the entire thing. However, once again, that's just a personal preference and it's just a comment that I have to add. But everything else, when it comes to the national costume itself, I have no complaints, but at all. This is remarkable. So there you have it, everyone. Those were pretty much the remaining candidates that I wanted to cover for the second part of the Miss Universe Philippines national costume presentation. Remember that this is part 2 of the video. So if you want to go and see my favorite topics for the national costumes, go and check part 1 of the video. And like I said before, to make this a little bit more of an interactive experience, if you agree with my opinion, or even if you don't, go down in the comment section and let me know what are your personal opinions. Let's make this a fun conversation. While you're at it, don't forget to leave a like on the video so that it gets recommended to more people. Subscribe to the channel for more videos like this one almost every single day. And last but not least, just come here and give me a hug. You guys, I'm filming with my laptop, so bear with me. I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for coming and spending a few moments out of your day here with me. And until see you next time, please stay safe, be kind to one another, sending you all my love, all my kisses, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.